what's up? I'm the Zim. This is the Zim video. This is part 45 of my rideshare experience videos. They look a little different. I'm standing up. I felt like standing up this time. Can't see my monitor as well though, with the Zim and A-Rock on. Anyways, so I changed it up a couple videos ago, or I go shout outs, I go how much I made, I go star rating, and I go the topic of the video, the main topic. And you can see in the side column over there's some squares that'll denote at what point in the video is, and also in the description of the video those some timestamps that'll tell you can go straight to whatever section it is you want if you're mainly interested in the main topic, because that's what the title of the video is. Skip ahead and do that if you wanted to see the other stuff I talk about, which I do every week the same way. Stick around and we can do it. So let's get into, well, first off, I'm an artist musician from Seattle, Washington. Go Hawks. Currently living in San Diego, California. It says right there, California. Legoland, California. Anyways, and then I use Lyft as my primary source of income while I'm figuring my stuff out, you know, life and all that good stuff. I like to do shout outs. The shout outs are people that are newly engaging to the channel. Thanks to everyone who has been engaging in the past. Thanks to all the subscribers. We're like, as of recording this video, we're like 4 subscribers away from 500. And as maybe you know already, I am doing a 500 subscriber giveaway. When that time happens, it'll, like when I hit 500, I'm gonna wait like a week or two to make sure it stays, and then I'll do the giveaway. So stay tuned to the channel for that. It'll be a gift card, a Visa gift card, so it'll be open-ended, and you can get whatever you want with it. And we'll see how it goes. Anyways, when that time comes, we'll deal with it. So shout out to Joshua Cortez Supe, KB82D, Andrew Riconos, I guess, Riconos, I don't know, R-E-C-I-N-O-S. Is it a soft C or hard C? I don't know. Anyway, thanks a lot for kicking down some comments on the show. It's mainly this show, it's the rideshare show. I post other videos, but not too many people comment on those ones. Most of my engagements on the rideshare show. And I wanted to make a really quick announcement. This one today is probably going to be my second to last of this show. I'm not stopping shows about the rideshare experience. It looks like I'm going to stop this show because I'm just bored of it. Basically, I think I've pretty much told you what I want to tell you with the practical. Really, all I really wanted to do was give you a practical example. I mean, I have basically a year. I'm coming up on my year of driving. On February of my year, I'm going to do a year review video like this for it. But I just really wanted to give you one practical example of what it's like doing this job the way that I do it. Of course, as you know, because if you watch any of these other videos, you've heard me say there's many different ways to approach this job, and this is just one way, and hopefully it's been helpful for some of you to see something, because it's definitely geared toward people thinking about the job, new drivers. It's not really geared for people that are entrenched already, have thousands of rides already, have been doing it for a long time. It's not geared for that. It's geared for people that are thinking about it, what it's like to do this job. So hopefully you found some value out of it. I know some of you have, and you've made comments on that, so thanks a lot for doing that. And again, comments are my oxygen, so make sure you comment if you've liked or disliked this video. Tell me why, so I can maybe address it in the future. One thing also I'll mention as well at the top here is, if you want me to talk about a topic that I haven't addressed yet, you want my opinion on it, then hit it up in the comments, let me know, and I'll make a video based on that topic. Even though this is my second to last scheduled of this show, but I'll make more. If you want me to make more, I'll make more for sure. So alright, let's get into it. How much I made? My snappers hasn't been working as well these days. So how much I made this week: $825.98 was deposited in my account. As you can see in the heads-up display, there's $11 more, so $836.98. Got $109 in tips because of $11 in cash tips. I did a total of 117 rides this week. Let me know if you have any questions around that. Let's go to the daily breakdown. I worked 6 days this week, kind of. I was gonna try to get out. I tried to get out on Tuesday, and I just wasn't feeling it yet. It was like New Year's, and then the day after New Year's, and I was like, you know, I still need some. I'm not ready. So I just did like 3 or 4 rides, came home, and then just hit it on Wednesday through the rest of the week. was a pretty good week. I felt like it was a good week. As you can see, my money was basically 150 or better, maybe 140 something a couple days. But those days I could have gotten cash tips as well to push it over the 150 time or amount. So that's good. My goal is to get 24 rides a day, and it usually works out to about $150 a day. So, and it works out pretty well for me. Hourly, let's go into hourly. This is my hourly breakdown. This is just where I drove this week, so you can see I pretty much finished up my required rides for the ride bonus by Saturday night, and I think I might have had some to clean up on Sunday, but it was mostly anytime rides. Like, I was done all my peak time rides by Saturday night. So, because I'm an express drive driver. I rent a car through Lyft, and in the you get a bonus because you're in the express drive program to help pay for the rental, and you need 40 of them at certain times. They call peak times. So those are the ones with the lightning bolts on the. That's what this chart's all about. So you know when you should be driving to get those peak time rides. That's that. If you have any questions about how much I made, feel free to ask me. If I missed anything important or that you want to know, hit me up in the comments, and I will be happy to elaborate or talk about it again on a future video. Let's get into my star rating. This is my star rating is going to scroll through my weekly star rating. My star rating is this week, as you can see, it's the lowest I've been, and I don't know why. I don't know, because I suck, I guess. I don't know. It's disappointing that it's 4.82, but on the daily emails you get, Lyft still think that's awesome. They have written next to it. So I guess in Lyft's eyes, it's still pretty good. As you know from past videos, I like a 4.89 or better. If you can hear noise in the background, it's actually raining in San Diego. So that's what that noise is. So sorry if it's too loud. So that's kind of where my rating is this week. I ended last week with a 5.0 app rating, like a 4.95 or something in that range, and then just progressively went down. I had a few grumpy passengers, so that might have been what the issue was. I could have been grumpy, I don't know. But I wanted to read you one review because it's actually one of my favorite reviews I've gotten in the year I've been driving so far, which is pretty cool for me. And you probably saw it already scroll by, but I'm going to read it to you. I never leave reviews, but this one is worth taking my time. Alexander, it's easy to talk to, very friendly, really enjoyed my Lyft. So that made me feel good. Even though my rating was down, at least somebody was willing to write a review, and based on what they said, they don't normally do that, so that made me feel good. So anyways, that's my star rating. If you have any questions on ratings, what I think about them, more details, I've made videos in the past about some of my ideas on them, or you could just ask me and I'll be happy to answer your questions for you in the comments. Let's get into the main topic. So I titled it Why I Don't Drive at Night. Basically, and why I don't drive at night is the like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. The pickup from the bar crowd shift is like what I don't drive. And the bottom line, really, I can just answer this with one question, one statement, is I don't want to. Is really the bottom line of it all. That's like, I just don't want to. I just don't feel like it. It's not where I want to spend my time. And so that's the crux of it. How I got to that, let me explain that to you. Because when I first started doing this job back in February 2017, I was kind of really, really paranoid about somebody getting sick in the car. Was a big thing for me. I didn't want to deal with that because a big part of why I was paranoid, well, I just don't like that whole concept in general, but I was riding in my own car at the time, and I was really tight on money. I was like, needed this job to work, and I had in my mind that I was going to have to do that shift. So I was kind of psyching myself up a little bit, thinking like, I'm good. I just thought, not knowing how to do this job yet, I thought that's when you had to drive. I thought that was the only time you would make any money and anything like that. So I was really kind of apprehensive of it. I just didn't know. And then within the first, few days, 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, I don't know, of driving, I recognized like, you know what? I'm able to make money off this without doing that late shift. And so it kind of like eased my mind a lot. I was like, thank God I don't have to do that late shift, because I just did not want to do that late shift. Because I didn't want to also be, have somebody get sick in the car while I was so strapped for money, and then have me put out of work. And I know that you get a cleaning fee and all that stuff, but I was like, I just wanted to keep working and I knew I just didn't feel like I had the luxury of stopping and cleaning and being left with that kind of I don't know, unknown of what I was going to get out of it, how long it would take to get that money, and how long would it put me out of work. So I was just like, I'd rather not deal with that whole kind of idea. And most people that I talk to usually say it's not worth it anyway. It's like not worth it to get that. It's better to just to keep working. At least, I don't know. That's what I want to hear, and that's what I've been hearing. And so that was a big part of it when I started to realize I can do this job without doing that. So I started to hone my skill and what I thought, I started to really focus in on how could I make this job work for me within the hours that I wanted to work. And the hours I wanted to work were basically like during the day. Like basically what it's kind of fallen into is 6 a.m. Through 11:30 p.m. and a variety of hours within there. Part of the story of why I don't want to do the night shift was another big reason for me is I worked night crew. I've done that. I went to college and I worked night crew for a full year, and it just messes you up. It's no fun. There are certain people that like to do night crew stuff, that's their way of being. For me, it just messed me up hardcore doing the night shift. I'm just not built to work all night regardless of what it is. So knowing that about myself already, I was like, no, I've done that. I'm over that. I don't need to do that again. I'll figure out how to do this job during the day. And then so another big part of it was the fact that I'm a father, and so there's I didn't want to start this schedule of flip-floppy, one day working during the day, other days working at night, with my kids' schedule being up all night and then trying to be a present for my kids when I had my kids, and just like feeling like going into that kind of schedule just wasn't advantageous for the lifestyle that I have currently with being a father and doing the thing that I want to do with my life. And so that was just another piece I was putting onto this kind of like story I was building around why I didn't want to drive the night shift. So as time rolled on, I started to recognize again that I didn't need to. I started to hone in what do I need to do to make this job as sustainable as possible within the hours that I'm comfortable working and wanting to work. And so I started to really hone in, really discover more what I need to. And I've explained a lot of that on previous videos, but a couple ideas are knowing where to be. I stay out in the car a lot more. I don't come home as much as I pretty much don't drive the noon hours because it dies down pretty hard during the day and things like that. So another piece of it was recognized, and then I transitioned over to the rental program. And within the rental program, they require you to get, as I mentioned earlier in this video, they require you to get peak time rides, which are times that Lyft wants you driving to get the rides. And then you drive, then you need a total amount of drives to get the ride bonus. And I personally don't feel like it's cost effective at all to not get the ride bonus. If you don't get the ride bonus, to me it doesn't make sense to be in the rental program. So I was I'm focused on getting those ride bonus. And the way the map is, so I'm going to put the shot again of the hourly breakdown of where the peak time rides currently are in San Diego, and it varies depending on the city you're in. A lot of things vary. They changed this chart around for a lot of people, so even your chart may look different than mine. And this is for the rental bonus. The power driver bonus also is different than this chart, so keep that in mind. So they require you to get the peak time rides, and obviously they give you a whole bunch of time on the weekend. So it is possible, I believe it's totally possible, if I focused on those overnight shifts on the weekend, I could get the 40 peak time rides I need. However, I do not believe it's possible at all within the 3 days of the weekend to get the total 110 rides. So somewhere in the week, I'm going to need to add extra time anyway. I'm going to have to work somewhere else besides that overnight shift anyway. So where am I going to do that? And because of the peak time rides and other things they have in during the week, it makes more sense to focus during the day, during the week, than at night during the week. if I didn't accomplish my 40 peak time rides on the weekend. And because it's at the end of the week, you don't know if there's always that crapshoot. You don't know if you're going to get your peak time rides by the end of the week. So what I decided to do was focus on when I know I can get my peak time rides during the week, when I know most people need rides, which is like, as you see on this chart, in the morning and in the evening, before, like before work and after work, are kind of where the most rides kind of happen. And it allows me to get a few peak time rides within that zone, so that when I do hit the weekend, I can clean up my peak time rides, but also not have to worry about working through the night. And then the other thing that I've noticed too is if you focus on the Friday and Saturday nights, which you are also losing the opportunity to work, which I think is probably, so I'll say this from my experience doing this, probably if you only have the shortest amount of time to make the most amount of money is probably Friday and Saturday nights through the night, 5 a.m. or 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. Those are probably, if you're only going to do this part-time, that's probably when you should focus your energy on, because that's when you'll make the most amount of money within the shortest amount of time. However, that makes it so it's not possible to work Sunday, which is like one of the best, Sunday mornings, which is one of the best times to drive, because there's a lot of people that do focus on the weekend nights, and then it leaves Sunday open, and there's a lot of people, especially in San Diego, that need to get back to their cars, do different things like that. There's the mimosa culture in San Diego, the brunch culture in San Diego is really huge. So it's like, I find Sunday mornings to be really great for multiple reasons. It's chill, it's ease of mind, I get a lot of rides, and there's no other cars on the road. So it's like, it's a great time to be driving, and I get what I need to accomplish. It then dies down at like 3 p.m. on. There's like a big window where it dies down. So if I'm focusing on the Friday and Saturday nights, with that 14-hour app limitation, I'm going to run into, if I'm working Saturday for a big chunk of time doing this as a full-time driver, I'm going to run into my 14-hour window if I also try to drive the Sunday morning shift. So that's another reason. But it's not a big deal to me because I'm not focused on doing that Sunday or Friday and Saturday nights anyway, so it works out for me. This chart is actually a really good example of my ideal hours that I like to work with. Peace of mind, not having to deal with the night crowd, not having to deal with changing my schedule up, and just different things like that. So this chart right here works really well for the lifestyle that I want to live with my job and the thing. The other piece of it is I've been, as you, maybe you can tell, I don't know, maybe you can or can't tell, I'm the type of person that is inquisitive, and I investigate. And I watch and I study and I listen to what else has been going on in the rideshare community. And I follow like the rideshare communities that are on Facebook talking about what's going on. I've never seen anybody that convinced me that making a regular habit of driving Fridays and Saturday nights in San Diego is worth the time. Would do me all that much better than what I do already. If you are a San Diego driver and you consistently make way more money than I make, let me know. I would love to talk to you about it, but I'm only really interested in talking to you if you're in San Diego, because the other thing about it is, there's a lot of opinions about this job from a lot of different people in a lot of different markets, and it's vastly different depending on what market you're in. It's so different. So, and San Diego is not really a great market. It's what I think is a medium market. So it doesn't seem to me like I'd be doing that much better. Maybe I would make $100 more a week based on kind of primetime rides that happen at night, but it wouldn't necessarily help my ride count, and it wouldn't help just my ease of mind and what I want to do, and I'd still have to put in hours outside of that time anyway. So that's really that's pretty much, I think that really sums up the reasons why I don't drive at night, and why I drive during the day. And I really feel like I've not perfected isn't the right word, but I've really honed in on one good strategy. Like I said, there's so many different strategies on how to do this job, and I think with taking out those night shifts and going, that's not something that I want to do, going, what should I focus on now that I know that's not what I want to do? Where should I focus? And I think I've gotten a pretty good handle on the way it works in San Diego and how to use my time the wisest within the hours that I am comfortable working. So there you go. If you have any questions for me regarding this whole thing, and maybe I'm totally wrong, maybe I'm just crazy, but I haven't seen anything within my market to prove me wrong yet, and I've gotten enough people within my market to say, yeah, you're right on. That's exactly what it's like here in San Diego. So feel free to hit me up with comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Especially, I haven't been able to get any. One time I posted a thing on the couple user groups in San Diego, asking for people that focus on the night shift that drive Lyft exclusively to talk to me about their experience, and both the posts got deleted. So I don't know why the user groups don't want me to be able to engage with people doing that shift. So I just didn't even bother trying to follow up on it again. So yeah, so that's where it's at. I'm the Zim. Oh, if you want to become a driver, use my referral code ZIM200, and we both get a bonus depending where you are. The referral bonus is going up in San Diego. It was at like 180 for a while. Now it's at like 260. So I imagine as we get closer to the summer, a lot of the markets, the referral bonus will start going up. So if you're considering driving, be aware of that. Maybe if you wait another week, if you wait till the kind of the last minute that you need to start driving, your referral bonus might be higher than it is today. So check that out, and we both get it. So that's awesome if you use my code. And then if you want to follow along on this journey, what I will probably start doing, because I'm going to end this particular show, I'll be on my Instagram page. I'll probably be doing more like live videos and like story videos and things like that, just talking about kind of the things I would talk about here over there. So if you want to follow along on that, that'd be awesome. And then yeah, that's it. So thumb it up if you're digging on it. Subscribe to the channel if you're digging on it, and share it around with the community, your friends. If you know somebody that's been interested in the rideshare and has questions about it, and like maybe I can help them. That's all I really want to do, is give you a really honest and practical look at what it takes to be a rideshare driver. Alright, until next time, peace. Oh, be good to each other and tip your driver.